Hey Awaken friends, Chris here, and welcome to your flow. This is a water-inspired flow from this kind of overcast and dreary day. Well, it was a lot more dreary this morning than it is now. And so I created two different water sequences, a water A and a water B. This is water B. So you may want to do water A first or get warmed up, but if you're ready, you can jump into it. They're open to all levels. They're ready to take you anywhere. We'll move through some chair poses, some little fun bits. We may even move to a half moon, giving away a peak pose to you, and finishing with a water wheel, which is a fun little expression of just stretching and moving and bringing some dynamic fun into each flow. When you're ready, let's come down onto our knees, grab a block or a little adjustment piece if you need it to sit on. It's more of an assistant than anything else, and it helps with accessibility, it helps in poses, and it really helps elevate in certain places. If you do have one or books or anything else, it would be great for when we do move to a half moon. If not, don't stress. If you'd like, you can sit back on it, and it can be great for the hips just to keep pressure off the knees when you are in a hero's pose, or you can sit on it just in a nice cross-legged position. But when you're ready, let's arrive onto our mat. Let's bring some connection into our breath and let it begin to soften. Let's bring our focus inwards and try to bring it out of your mind, down into your chest a little bit. And when you're just sitting here with this quiet focus away from to-do lists and your daily plans and everything else, let's start to just focus on that breath. On a nice inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inviting you into this nice rhythmic yogic breath so that you can start to just be aware of your surroundings, become aware of your body, and see if there's some pressure somewhere, if there's a little bit of tightness somewhere, and feel into your space as we begin to let everything else go and we come into our own environment, the place that we've created for the next few minutes, maybe a bit more than a few, but we'll be here to flow together, to connect together, to bring some water element into it. And so with that, let's start bringing some rhythmic motion in, raising the hands up on a nice big inhale, fingertips touch above our head, and exhale, bringing our hands down through heart center and letting our thumbs just gently press into our chest and open back up. Flowing through as our fingers touch above our head and exhale, coming down, thumbs pressing. Inhale, reaching up, feeling our chest lift, our side body lifting up. Maybe the gaze follows up to follow the fingertips as they touch. And exhale, and try to bring the exhale to be longer than your inhale. Really emptying out your lungs as we open and connect back in. One more time as we bring our hands up, fingertips touch. Now let's cactus open, bringing our elbows down to 90 degrees. Gaze is moving back. It's a very gentle back bend. And then rolling forward, bringing your elbows to touch, your hands to touch in this nice prayer position. And then bring your thumbs down. Your elbows move apart as you press open. One more time, flowing open. Big inhale, fingertips touch. And then open to a cactus. Cactus those elbows open. Really bring them up. And then flow through. Hands to heart center. Thumbs nestling in, pressing a little bit firmer this time, so we've got somewhere to bring our attention for the rest of this flow. Coming off the block, taking it to the side, don't put it too far away because you might need it later. Hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, and draw yourself open. And exhale, round in. Coming through again, and I invite you to be a little bit rhythmic here. A little bit organic, bending elbows and knees, moving hips, flowing through in this nice sequence. But each time you come forward, roll those shoulders back and feel a bit more brightness through your chest. Maybe taking your hips all the way back. This might be first thing in the morning, and this might feel amazing as you're starting to wake up your body. Or it could be late in the afternoon, like it is for me. And you've already done a bit of work, you've moved around a little bit, or you've been sitting in a chair for the past few hours, stuck on calls, doing video calls, and you just need to get up and move. Coming back to center, moving the hands out to the sides of the mat so the fingertips are facing to the long edge of each side of the mat, and just roll a little bit here. Rolling around, moving in, stretching, feeling our wrists just move in slightly a different way. We don't always move our wrists in this way. It can be a bit of a unique feeling to put a bit of pressure here. Exhale, coming back to center, tucking the toes, and lifting up into a downward facing dog. And walking that dog out a little bit, stretching out those hamstrings. Feel the calf muscles move around as you're bending your elbows. Hips might be moving around a little bit. Come back to center. Roll those shoulders down, tailbone pointing up to the sky. Feel that length here. And then bending your knees quite a bit here. And then press that tailbone up to the sky, rolling back through your shoulders, the top of your spine, roll through to a plank pose. Hold here. If this is too much for you, please bring the knees down to the ground. If you're in plank, heels are moving towards the back of the room. Strength here, then bend the knees and float it back. Keeping those knees bent, flowing forward. Like the waves in an ocean, rhythmically moving and rolling back to down dog. Keeping the knees bent and roll forward one more time. Articulating that spine, strength all the way through, and then ever so slowly and gracefully coming down to the mat. Elbows grazing past your chest and pressing up to upward facing dog. Sorry, cobra, not up dog yet. Exhale down. Coming back up to cobra, we're not jumping ahead. And then when we're in our cobra, I invite you to lift your hands just to see if you've got the strength coming through your back muscles, really not putting too much pressure on your lower back here. Lifting up, and then exhale down. Tucking the toes, lifting up through plank pose, hinging at the hips, and coming to downward facing dog. And connect into your breath here. Dial that back in. Feel it moving through your lungs. Feel the expansion through your side body. Coming up to the balls of our feet. Tiptoe, 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 all the way up to the top of the mat. Inhale, fingertips come below the kneecaps and press out for a halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. All the way down, maybe with a nice bend in the knees here to not put too much pressure on your lower back. Inhale, rolling up, vertebra by vertebra, all the way up to standing. Hands move forward to the front of the room. Inhale, fingertips up, above our head, gaze goes up. Exhale, bring the hands down, pressing into our heart center, and open back up into our Tadasana pose. Let's bring some grip and stability here. So really feeling our inner thighs gripping, tailbone down to the ground, glutes, get those glutes nice and active, drawing up the energy. And maybe instead of a mountain pose, we'll call this an iceberg pose, just so we can be strong and steady. There's a lot of us here, maybe a little bit showing above the surface, but there's a lot below the surface. There's a lot more to us. Hands flowing up to the sky, fingertips touch, fluidly rolling down into a fold forward position. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips come to the mat here, and then lowering our palms down to the ground and stepping back into a plank pose, holding here with strength. Knees can come down if it's a bit much on the wrists or any part of your body, and then effortlessly coming down to the ground, elbows past our ribs. Inhale, pressing up into our cobra or upward dog. We got here eventually. If you're feeling like it, with our thighs off the ground, glutes really active. And then rolling over the toes or pressing out through plank pose to come back to downward facing dog. And take a deep breath in. Center in. Coming to the balls of our feet, we're going to step up to the top of the mat or hop, skip, teleport to the top of the mat. Big toes will touch, heels slightly apart, and we'll bring our hands to flow up into a chair pose. Utkatasana. Now our hips here are moving back towards the back of the room. So we want them moving back towards the back of the mat, sitting in a little bit lower. And I invite you to bend your back a little bit. Just bending here and then straighten it back out to that Tadasana spine so you can feel the difference. Sitting back a little bit lower and then fold forward and down. Inhale back into our chair pose. Holding here. Strength, pressing up, fingertips reaching to the top, to the roof, to the space, to the top of your area. hips moving back. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, back up. Don't forget to breathe here as you're moving in this space. You're holding a chair pose. Keep holding it here, feeling that strength, feeling that length all the way through your spine. And exhale, folding down. Coming up, fingertips to the ground, and we're going to step back into plank pose. Holding here for a moment, and then slowly lowering down, all the way to the ground. And pressing up into cobra or upward facing dog. And rolling over the toes, and back to downward facing dog. And take a deep breath in here, and center back into your space. And coming to the balls of our feet, we're going to step, hop, skip, or teleport to the top of the mat. And a halfway lift. Fingertips just below the kneecaps and press out. And length here. Exhale, fall down. Bending the knees, big toes touching, heels apart. Flow up into a chair pose, Utkatasana. And bringing our hands down so the backs of our palms are facing each other. And roll them around so our palms meet down behind our back, gripping together. And be in this nice bound Utkatasana, nice bound chair. And then folding forward, bending down. Now you can keep your palms pointing towards the roof, move them overhead for a deeper stretch. Inhale, coming back up. Bound palms, keeping ourselves in a nice chair, hips moving towards the back of the mat, keeping our spine nice and straight here. And straight's relative when we're talking about spines. Straight's relative generally, but let's just try and keep it aligned is probably a better word. And exhale, folding forward. And inhale, coming back up. Last time here, holding our chair, hips moving back, feeling everything active and fired on. And unwinding, hands down to the ground, stepping back into our plank pose. Let's hold here for a moment. Heels moving towards the back of the room. And then effortlessly coming down to the ground. And take a breath here for a moment. We've moved quite quickly and jumped into quite a few things. So let's just take a breath as we engage back on the ground. Like the bottom of the ocean. The calm place when you're deep underwater. And then press up. As if we're coming up for that nice, beautiful breath, breaking the surface. And exhale, rolling over the toes. And back to downward facing dog. Coming to the ball of the left foot, right foot will float up to the sky, right knee up through our chest. And coming up to our right thumb, left knee will come down to the ground. And we're going to lift up into our Ardha Anjaneyasana. Hands will come up to the sky. Hands will move back down to the inner sides of our hands. Blah, 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 blah. Cut this bit too. Cut this bit too. Downward facing dog. Coming to the ball of the left foot, right foot will float up to the sky. Right knee will come up through our chest. Right toes to right thumb, left knee down to the ground, and rising up into our Ardha Anjaneyasana. Hands will move down to shoulder height, with the backs of our palms facing each other. Bringing our hands back around behind, interlacing them, right thumb on top, and looking up to the sky. Really stretching our shoulders open, nice gentle back bend. And then exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to the ground. Left foot is going to lift up. Left foot is going to turn to the ground to a 90-degree angle like we would for a warrior two. We're going to bring our right foot out just a tad. We're going to move up into this lifted Skandasana position. And we're going to move across to the other side. So we're just pivoting our feet out a little bit as we're moving around here in this raised Skandasana position. This is to open our hips, to get a little bit of movement, a bit deeper in here, onto the side, and feeling it as we start to roll. If you feel like going a little bit deeper, you can lift the foot up and lower your hips down. And again, this isn't necessarily necessary. I'm struggling so much today. And this doesn't work. Skandasana doesn't work there. It needs a forward fold first. Okay. Coming to the ball, the left foot, right foot floats up to the sky, right knee comes up through our chest, right toes to right thumb, left knee down to the ground, rising up into our Ardha Anjaneyasana. Hands coming down to shoulder height, rotate so that backs of the palms face each other, and then roll those shoulders back into a nice external rotation, gripping the hands together, right thumb on top, gaze moves up to the sky for this nice gentle back bend opening. And then exhale, hands come back around, framing the right foot, left knee off the ground, left heel drops down, right toes pivot around, and we move into this nice wide leg fold forward and come down. Inhale, lift up, fingertips on the ground, length through our spine here, then exhale back down to the ground. Coming back up, gentle bend in both knees as we kind of raise up and we come into a goddess position. And we hold here in our goddess. Strength. Feeling this nice connection to us, to the divine feminine, bringing that in. And then as we move, as a bit of an exhale, can we look, straighten the left leg a little bit and move, bending the right knee into this Skandasana. And we're going to do it as a high Skandasana, moving across to the other side, straightening the right leg, bending the left knee, and then flowing back. And keeping this nice high Skandasana position, we'll open our hips. Nice movement to the left side, and then back to the right, framing the right foot, left knee down to the ground. Hands raise up back into our Ardha Anjaneyasana, and open down into a cactus. And bring the hands through to that prayer position where we started, elbows touch, thumbs down to our heart center. And open back up. Inhale, fingertips touch above the head. Exhale, hands open to a nice cactus. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands flow up, fingertips touch above the head. Exhale, cactus open. Inhale, hands press together in prayer. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands framing right foot back to left. Knees will come down to the mat. Forearms come down to the mat. And we bring ourselves open and up and through into an up dog. Exhale, rolling over the toes. And then back to downward facing dog. Coming to the ball, the right foot, left foot floats up to the sky. Left knee comes all the way up to left thumbs. Right knee down to the ground. Raise up into an Ardha Anjaneyasana. Hands coming down to our shoulder height, rotating the backs of the palms together, bringing them behind us for external rotation. Left thumb on top, gaze goes up, gentle back bend, lifting up here, and exhale. Hands coming through, down to the ground, lifting the right knee off the ground, pivoting around. I'll flip sides for you. Pivoting around, so we're in a wide leg fold forward and bending down. And coming up, fingertips just below our shoulders, press open and up, and exhale back down. Inhale, coming back up and bending that left knee and moving across. So we start our nice Skandasana flow, but a high Skandasana, straightening the left leg, moving over to the right side, straightening the right leg, moving over to the left side, getting a little bit deeper here, feeling what's it like. Maybe you lift the toes up a little bit. We're not going to go to the full expression today because we're not quite open enough. It takes a little bit longer to get into that, but at least we're moving around here. And when you're ready, coming with the left foot at the front of the mat, right knee comes back down and raise up into an Ardha Anjaneyasana. We're going to bring our hands down to cactus. Gaze goes up into this gentle back bend. And then hands coming back into prayer. Elbows touch. Fingertips to heart center. Inhale, hands raise all the way up. Gaze follows the fingers as they touch. Exhale into that cactus. Inhale, hands together. Elbows touch. Exhale, hands press into the heart center. One more time, flow it like a wave. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, cactusing down. Inhale, bring the hands together. Exhale, fingertips touch heart center. Hands to the ground, right foot back to left, knees will come down, forearms come down, and breathe open. Lifting up into our upward facing dog and roll over the toes, and back to downward facing dog. Coming to the ball of the left foot, right foot floats up to the sky, right knee comes all the way up to right thumbs, left foot to 90 degrees, and flow up into our warrior two. And hold. Really hold here. The strength, the length. Flip the right palm and reverse our warrior, flowing back. And exhale, back to warrior two. Straightening the right leg, reaching as far as we can with our right fingertips. Reach, 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 and then tipping like the hands of the clock as our hips have moved back and coming down to triangle pose. Now, if you have that block, triangle can be great to press up in a block or on the shin. I don't mind going down to the ground, but it depends on how open you are through the hips, because otherwise you're just folding in, and we're really about length here. We're about pressing up with height, pressing up as high as we can go. And exhale, bending the front knee, the right leg, maybe grab that block and take it with you. And we're going to float forward. We're bringing the left leg with us. And for here, you can put the block just out in front of you. And the idea is we want to stack our hips on top of each other. We're rolling the left hip up. Now to get that, if you begin to imagine you're rolling the left hip down and then roll it back up, you'll feel the position for where you want it. You want to be lifting through the outer edge of your left foot so it's floating in the sky. Your hands can either be on the block, right underneath you, right hand is, or right hand can be on the mat, on the ground, or floating. The left hand can be up in the sky, it can be on your hip, for a nice gentle balance, wherever feels good to you today. To come out of it and to focus on this hip movement, roll the left hip down, bending the right knee, roll it down, roll it down, roll it down, so you can feel that movement. And bringing the foot to the back of the mat, left knee comes to the ground, right knee back to meet left knee, hips move back towards the heels, forehead coming down towards the ground, breathing up into a lunar lift, up into your up dog or cobra, rolling over the toes, moving through plank, whichever way, back to downward facing dog. And arrive. Coming to the ball of the right foot, left foot will float up to the sky, left knee comes up through the chest, left toes to left thumb. Right foot opens to 90 degrees, and we flow open to our warrior two. Flip the front palm, the left palm as we flow back to reverse warrior. And then flowing back to our warrior two, lengthening out from our shoulders here, and focus on that left knee. Is it tracking over your left ankle? Left leg straightens, hips are moving back towards the back of the room. Reach, reach, reach the hips back as you reach forward, and then tilt your hands like the arms of a clock. Hand reaching onto the shin and pressing you up. If you've got that block, you can have it sitting there for a bit of length. Maybe it's on one of the higher points. It's an assister, just to help you assist in any of these positions. And again, wherever feels good to you. Bending the left knee. We're going to grab that block and take it on a journey with us, dragging the right foot with you, putting the block maybe a foot or two out in front, wherever stacks so that it's underneath your shoulder. And we want to lift the right foot up, but we really want to focus on stacking those hips. So the hips are stacked on top of each other. Hand on the hip. And we're kind of in this nice balanced position. If you don't have a block, maybe there's books, maybe there's a mat, maybe your hand's on the ground, wherever's giving you room here. And as we focus on stacking those hips, so the right hip is stacked on top of the left hip, as much as we can, hands are there floating, and we're balancing into this position. Lift the ankle up, so we've got the outer edge of our ankle lifted. And then bending the left knee, right hip comes down, really rolling it down. So we focus. Right toes at the back of the mat, hands come down, right knee comes back to left knee, or left knee to right knee in that case, sitting hips back, and breathing ourselves, open it up into our upward dog, and rolling over to downward facing dog. And take a deep breath, centering in here. And let it all go. like a big wave moving out, like a big lake emptying out. Let all that air rush out, or slowly out. And coming up onto the balls of our feet, bringing our knees down to the ground. Let's slowly lower ourselves all the way down, very gently. Move this block out of the way. Coming down, hands down behind us. We're going to press our palms into the ground and lift our legs and feet off the ground for a half locust. Letting the legs down. This time we'll bring both our hands with us and our chest up a little bit, keeping our neck in alignment to our spine. Lifting the thighs off the ground, pointing the toes, lifting the hands up, stretching through the triceps. You should feel it through your shoulders, triceps, arms, fingers, very engaged, core switched on, and exhale, let it go. Take a breath on the mat for a moment, feeling that nice strength. And coming up, we're going to bend our knees, hands back to locust, coming up and then gripping our ankles just below, and then begin to press up. So you're pressing the legs away as you're lifting your chest up. And you're not really lifting your chest too much. Your arms are pulling you there. I'm not worried about height. You can be low as long as you're pressing your legs away. It's all about your position relative to the pulling and pressing motion. And exhale, let it go. Ooh, feeling good cracks and pops there. Hands underneath shoulders. Coming up into a kneeling position. Chest lifted up. And now you can have your toes tucked or untucked. Tucked, I find, gives you more of a lift up through your chest. Untucked is a bit lower, so you're getting more of a deeper stretch. Completely up to you. I'll start with toes tucked, hands on hips, and just leaning back. Takes us into a camel position. Exhale, coming forward. And I kind of rushed into that one thinking you've done the water A class, so you kind of knew where I was going. If you're new to this, we're doing camel. And then going back with our hands just below, and we're opening back. And then we'll bring one hand down to a heel, one hand down to another heel, and press up into a camel position. And if you're feeling it, you can let your neck drop behind you. And exhale, coming out of it. If you'd like to try it again and want to try it with your feet flat, go for it. Untuck the toes, coming back, holding just above your lower back here to really feel it so that you can just lower down and then press up for the deeper bend. Then exhale, coming out and sitting back, coming over onto your bum. And then bringing our feet forward. Hands are going to come just underneath. Oh no, we're not there yet. We're going to bring our feet out. We've got the water wheel. Forgot about that. I was ready for Shavasana. That's me jumping ahead, but it's water wheel time. Now, water wheel, for those who haven't done the other class or just want a refresher, it's a fold forward over our legs. And then we move back, bringing our legs over our head to a supported plow position. Supported, or hands can move back with us too. We'll start just in a supported position so we can get used to it. Coming up, knees might be nicely bent here, folding down, folding forward. And then we're moving back and coming through. And as we come back, we lay down, lifting up, knees come overhead, legs come overhead. And this is a nice kind of supported plow position. As our hands come just below and hold us here, holding our back. And feet can touch the ground or float, whatever feels good to you. And then exhale, coming forward. And you flow, I tuck my shirt in, and you flow through and down. And so we can do this with a little bit of movement now. Tuck my microphone in with my shirt. And we can do this with a bit of movement as we flow back. And then flow forward. And then you can have some fun with it, rolling back. And rolling forward. And go at your own pace, go at your movement. It might just be a nice little bend for you. It might just be bending in and bending up. Whatever it is for you, it doesn't matter. It's what feels good. And letting get this nice rocking movement across your spine. Some nice different flexion. and movement here as this water wheel flows. And flows back. And coming back to center, putting your hands under your knees this time, now at the right time, and slowly rolling down, getting ready for the end of this class, Savasana. But first, my favorite wind down, which is a spinal twist, bringing the knee up into the chest, hug it in for a moment, knee to center, right hand to the sky, right knee moves across the body, and then bring the right hand down to the ground, and gaze will follow over the right fingertips. If your knee's floating, tuck it behind your left kneecap, the foot behind the left kneecap, and just stretch here for a moment. And then coming back to center, right knee into chest one time, switching over, left knee up into chest, hug it up, left knee up, left hand up, and then we're going to bring the left knee down. Bring it across the body first, maybe tucking the toes if it's floating in the sky, and then bringing the left hand down to the ground. And we want to try to preserve our left shoulder on the ground. So wherever the knee is in relation to that is perfectly fine, perfectly great, perfectly amazing. All the perfects. And exhale, coming back, left knee into chest, left leg out, and arrive into your Shavasana, your still lake, your magical pond. Whatever you want to visualize here, stay here, connect into this moment. You've flowed, you've moved, you've found some incredible joy on your mat, hopefully. You've gone somewhere new. You carved out this time for you in space. You've given this gift of movement and flow to your body. And this action sets you up for a wonderful long life of movement and patterns and everything that we need to keep our bodies mobile for the rest of our lives. And every decision we make today, everything we put in our bodies, every movement, every bit of yoga, every time we come to the mat, helps us set up for a long and mobile life. I want to thank you for flowing with me today. I hope you've managed to find some stillness, some water energy through this fun and connected flow, and I look forward to flowing with you again soon. Namaste.